We got more information about the NASCAR 25 video game, and some fans are unhappy about that information. We'll get into it. Legacy Motor Club is now suing TJ Puchyr as well as Ware Racing. Plus, Kris Wright parted ways with R Motorsports. We gotta go tell the Fab Shop guys. Play the intro. Wait, are you serious? We actually parted ways with Kris Wright? You're gonna tell me there's 36 race championship coming up as well? Don't kid with me right now. We've been working like dogs out here. It's hot, it's humid. We're like a pack of lions chasing hyenas every single day. Everybody's just absolutely exhausted. We did actually part ways with him. We're not gonna wreck any more race cars. We're bringing metal from our house to try to fix all these wrecked race cars that he's got for us. All right, that's actually great news. So who's in the car this weekend? Kaz Gralla? All right, we can go ahead and put the metal back, boys. We're gonna be all right for another week. No overtime this week. I have to tell the old lady paycheck can be a little bit smaller, but that's fine by me. No more overtime. Send it back to the studio. And just like that, we are back in the studio. So let's go ahead and talk about the new NASCAR 25 video game, which will come out later this summer. Mike Strahl from Insider Gaming did an hour-long sit-down with one of the producers of the game, Matt Lewis, and I highly recommend that you go watch that video. I'll even link it in the description below because I'm not going to talk about everything they discussed, and I think there's a lot of things and little details that you'll pick up on if you do, in fact, watch that whole hour-long interview. But some of the things that came out of it have angered some of the NASCAR video game fan base. They're acting like Star Wars fans. It's like they're never going to be satisfied with whatever the final product is. There's always going to be something that they want to complain about here. And one of the big takeaways that a lot of people are upset about is the lack of split screen multiplayer in NASCAR 25. Now, hand up, for me, it doesn't matter at all. I have no interest in playing multiplayer, but I didn't think about people with kids. So people with kids do like multiplayer, and I can completely understand that. Selfishly, I was just thinking of myself when I posted that on TikTok and when I read it for the first time, because I was like, who really cares? It's kind of like an old nostalgia thing, sure, right? We all remember NASCAR Thunder and stuff like that. And then I was like, oh yeah, that's why you remember it. It's because you used to play with your friends. Now everybody just mainly plays online, or you just do the career mode and have a fun time. So that's not going to be in the game. And some people are upset about that. I understand it. Maybe that'll be a future iteration or future feature that will be in the game, but it will not be there for NASCAR 25. Another thing people really wanted it to be was iRacing, which if you want iRacing, just get a PC and play iRacing on there. Matt Lewis said that they're not aiming to build iRacing on a console, which I think is a good thing. This is supposed to be more of an arcade type of game. It's not meant to be a full immersive simulator like you get with iRacing. It's supposed to be something that you can sit down and play on your couch and have a good time with it, but ultimately not get angered at the voice chat and not have to set up pages and pages of setups and everything like that. You'll still be able to customize your difficulty and do things like that, which is a good thing for it. I think the best comparison is probably going to be that World of Outlaws video game. Think about that, just maybe on the NASCAR side of things. Then you have to throw in the fact that you can't control your car under caution or on pit road, which apparently is something that a lot of people want, which tells me that they've never either played iRacing or they're the idiots that like to drive around under caution iRacing and try to be the voice chat comedian and just absolutely anger every single person out there. Shut up on the voice chat. Nobody wants to hear you talk. Nobody thinks you're funny. That's why majority of us, I think, are just now disabling it because it's absolutely infuriating. But it's really just a waste of time because on iRacing, when you have to put around under caution at a place like Pocono or a road course, you're just wasting so much time. And we could all just jump ahead to when the restart's going to happen. And here, it's the same thing. Like it's a console game. We're going to go ahead and just skip to the parts that you actually want to do. I can almost understand wanting to control your car underneath on pit road. I can get that, right? Formula One lets you do that on their console game, but for now, it's not going to be part of it. Then some people got mad at the lack of options that are going to be with the paint booth. Again, I don't really care. I'm not about to get up in arms about that. That's probably something that's going to come later on down the road. But for all the things that people were complaining about, I think there's a lot of good things to come out of this game. So I think one thing that people need to do right off the bat is level set some of your expectations, because you're not going to get everything you want in year number one. I mean, look at College Football 25 versus College Football 26. The 26 edition version, the iteration is much better than what we had with 25. So think about that for the next one, NASCAR 26. It's going to be better than what we have now, but you have to build a foundation so that you can be successful in the future And that's what this game is. And hopefully it's a good game. Hopefully it's a fun, playable game. And a couple of things they talked about, I think is a good idea. During your career mode, everybody has to start in ARCA. There's no skipping over ARCA. There's no buying your way past ARCA. No, you will start in the ARCA series. You'll work up to the Truck Series, Xfinity Series, Cup Series. Love that aspect of it. And guess what? Your garage is going to change with you along the way. Go from like a backyard shop all the way up to a full-time NASCAR Cup Series garage. Cool. Love that. Another thing I really like that they said, every car is going to feel different. So the Xfinity car isn't going to race like the ARCA car. The ARCA car is not going to race like the truck, and the Xfinity car is not going to race like the Cup car, and vice versa for all of them. Love that aspect of it. I really like that they're all going to have a different feel. Now, the game was designed with playing on a controller in mind, but it will come with full support for wheel and pedals for anybody that wants to play like that. Great, because 90% of the people are going to sit down and play on a controller, so it has to have that sort of feel and finesse with it as well. I was really happy to see that aspect of it. Another thing that I think is very cool, the AI, so all the computer cars that you'll be competing against, the drivers of those cars will replicate what those drivers would do in real life. So if you're racing against Kyle Larson and you're in a place like Homestead, guess what? Kyle Larson's going to be ripping the wall. So where Kyle Larson typically would move up and try to find that high line in real life, he's going to do that in the video game. Does that mean that if you get to Richmond and Austin Dillon is in third place, he's going to wreck everybody? We'll have to wait and see. Is Ricky Stenhouse going to spin out and cause wrecks? Is Joey Logano going to speed down pit road when everybody's standing around? I don't know. Carson Hocevar, is he about to piss everybody off? Potentially. And hey, Josh Berry's 21 car might just drive through everybody when they get to Sonoma. So if they really want to make it mimic it, I think there's a few things that they can do that would make it rather interesting. One thing I am kind of bummed that they won't have, at least in the first launch version of it, is silly season. So when you get to the end of your season, drivers aren't going to be moving around anywhere, which I really wish they would be able to incorporate that. And it sounds like they're going to in the future, just not going to be available at launch. Speaking of launch, you're going to get a gameplay trailer at the end of August. The game is set to launch somewhere between the end of September and the beginning of October, somewhere in like a 3-week period there. Again, love that. Everybody's complaining about that. Oh, why is it coming out so late? Roster's going to be outdated. Listen, like NASCAR Thunder, majority of NASCAR races come out in late summer, and they kind of talked about that from a timing standpoint. And hopefully, you know, if it does come out and it is outdated for when the 2026 season rolls around, then maybe they'll have, you know, a DLC, an update where they update the rosters, because I think that would be absolutely worth it. One thing they mentioned about the timing of the game coming out is the fact that it's going to come out in the playoffs and kind of building up to that championship finale and then into the holiday season, and allow people to have something to do during the off season to build for the 500. Okay, I can kind of understand all of that. It's about, what, a 5-ish month run right there, 4.5-ish month run from when that game's going to come out until the 500 is. So I get the idea behind it, but overall, I'm still excited for this game. I know some people are going to complain about it, but they're going to complain about everything. They complain about there's too many road courses. They're complaining about Shane Van Gisbergen. They're probably complaining about the door numbers still being pushed up too far. Sometimes people just want to complain for the sake of complaining. I'm going to wait and see what this game has to offer before I make a judgment on it. Right now, there are currently 5 lawsuits that exist within the NASCAR realm, and logical thinking would say that majority of them exist with the 2311 Racing, Front Row Motorsport, NASCAR portion of the lawsuit realm, except you'd be wrong, because 3 of them right now exist with Legacy Motor Club, Rick Ware Racing, and now TJ Puchyr. So let's backtrack here. Legacy Motor Club originally had a deal to buy a charter from Rick Ware Racing for $45 million. Rick Ware Racing said that they would be able to take possession of that in 2027. Legacy said 2026. Rick Ware Racing said, oh, you tried to pull a fast one on us. We're not going to sell it to you now. So Legacy sued Rick Ware Racing, went to court, and the judge said, all right, don't do anything with this charter because you could face significant ramifications if you do try to sell this charter while the whole legal process is playing out here. In the meantime, Rick Ware Racing countersued Legacy Motor Club for trying to force them to sell this and changing the contract and saying things about them publicly and all of those things. Okay, so one lawsuit, the other lawsuit, we got that going on. Well, as the Associated Press reported a couple weeks ago, Rick Ware Racing has agreed to sell TJ Puchyr, former co-owner of Spire Motorsports. Well, when that happened, Legacy Motor Club went, hang on a second here. I thought the judge said you couldn't sell this. So now they have turned around and sued TJ in this situation. And here's the other part of this. TJ was working with Legacy Motor Club to help them purchase that charter from Rick Ware Racing and attempt to secure some sponsorship as well. So TJ was privy to a lot of the information, realized that the deal wasn't going to happen with Legacy, circled back around to Rick Ware and said, hey, I'll go ahead and buy up the entire operation here and try to do my own thing. And Legacy's not going to stand for it. TJ also came out and said that he didn't think Jimmy Johnson had all the facts. Legacy was not happy about that at all. Legacy says in the lawsuit, quote, as part of the agreement, Mr. Puchyr was given access to confidential and sensitive business information so that he could help promote Legacy and its principles. In order to help Legacy secure a sponsorship deal, Legacy trusted Mr. Puchyr by engaging Mr. Puchyr. Legacy expected him to act with integrity and refrain from the actions that would undermine Legacy's operations, reputation, or competitive standing. It further expected Mr. Puchyr to avoid any conflicts of interest, disclose any circumstances that might compromise his impartiality, and comply with ethical standards that reinforce Legacy's trust in his services. They also say that TJ went, quote, behind the scenes to upend Legacy's deal with Ware Racing. He has openly and proudly boasted about his malfeasance, criticizing Legacy and its principles while touting his underhanded attempt to strip Legacy of its bargained for right to charter from Ware Racing. NASCAR rolls on once again. At this point, that NASCAR channel on Tubi might as well just become NASCAR. Or after, I don't know, the Xfinity Series races on the CW each week, we should just put on a whole hour long of NASCAR. We have Judge Judy out there. We'll send in the lawyers from both sides. They can present their case. Heck, we can even bring in some witnesses as well. They can present their side of the case. Maybe they can walk out of the courtroom. Jamie Little can hop out of the back of a Silverado like it's a post-race interview on the front stretch, interview each side, and heck, Prime can bring out the stage. We can all sit down and have a beer and watch them go back and forth while Dale sits in the middle and tries to keep the whole thing on track. This is just getting kind of ridiculous at this point. Now, I'm here for it, right? Because it's kind of a fun storyline to follow along. We have three parties now suing each other, which, okay, we're just going to sue each other back and forth. And all of this, Rick Ware's just sitting back being like, oh man, we could have $45 million. We turned that down for obvious reasons. I understand why they did that. Now he's got a reported 9-figure deal in place to sell his team to TJ. Now that might be in jeopardy as well. Legacy's got 2 ongoing lawsuits. Ware Racing's got a lawsuit happening right now. Then you got the NASCAR 2311 Front Row Motorsport situation with on Wednesday. NASCAR has until 5 p.m. to respond to the courts about that. They want to pull those charters back from the teams. Maybe they even want to sell them at this point. NASCAR needs its own hour-long TV show each week just to recap everything, which I'll continue to do here because I don't think any of this is going away anytime soon. But let me know in the comments what you think about the NASCAR 25 video game, the details that came out about that, as well as the new lawsuit between Legacy Motor Club and TJ Puchyr. Like and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on TikTok at BreakHard, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at BreakHardBlog.